Hello, welcome back to another installment of my Listen to This series where I go on about an album for a few minutes. Lesser known album in my collection, lesser known maybe to you as well. And I just kind of discuss why I think it deserves a listen. These albums can be by huge artists, superstars. They can also be by, very, very unknown bands. Well, today is the first, I think, of those kind of superstar record or superstar artist, and that's going to be the Bee Gees. And this is their 1970 album, Cucumber Castle, released in 1970. It's the Bee Gees' seventh album. As you can see on the cover there, armor notwithstanding, this album consists of two of the brothers Gibb. That would be Barry and Morris. At this time, Robin Gibb had left the group to pursue a solo career. He had put out an album. This is the only album not to really feature any vocal contributions from Robin. I think there's one songwriting credit that he shares with the other guys, but otherwise, Robin is not on this album in any way, shape, or form. However, out of the Bee Gees albums that I've heard, which I have not heard all of them, and I am an early Bee Gees guy, so I like things like Trafalgar, Odessa, Idea, things like that. This is my favorite of the Bee Gees albums that I've heard so far. And again, that probably includes about six total albums. And I have a few Bee Gees albums in my collection here, but this album, again, people that know realize that the early Bee Gees were more uh, kind of baroque pop. They weren't disco. I mean, this is 1970. This is pre-disco, and even before this, they were really taking on influences like the Beatles and groups like that were more in like the British pop scene versus Saturday Night Fever a few years later. But what's so great about this album, other than these great um, costumes that they're wearing? And by the way, this is taken from a TV special that the guys did of the same name called Cucumber Castle, which was the name of a song from the I think 1967 album Bee Gees First. So this is a TV special based on a song from an album 3 years prior, which is the now name of this album, which doesn't include that song. Makes sense. But great stuff on here. Again, it's more folky, more almost like a country-ish vibe to it. But I mean, you can't take away the accents of Barry Gibb and Morris Gibb. But um, listen to the songs "Io Io," which is kind of like this almost like calypso-y kind of sounding song with Morris doing the hook in the middle. The "Io Io 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 Io." It's really really good. And then You Left Me is a beautiful ballad sung by Barry. Just these, painful vocals. And what's crazy is, again, you look at these guys, they look weather worn. I'm pretty sure they're like 23 and 21 years old in this picture, but they look like they've been to war. Um, then you listen to the song The Lord, which is like kind of this, pseudo gospel-y country song. They kind of put on fake country accents, kind of in the style of like Elton John on the song like No Shoestrings on Louise, or maybe like Faraway Eyes by the Rolling Stones. Really, really good kind of dual country with Morris singing very low in his register. Um, Sweetheart is a beautiful tune as well. If you read comments on YouTube of the song Sweetheart, and people say it makes them cry. It's just a beautiful track. Then you have maybe the standout track on the record, which is "Bury Me Down by the River." Oh my word, it's just a fantastic ballad. It's a ballad heavy album, but the stuff that's upbeat is really really good. And then they kind of do two tracks, um, kind of back to back. They do a song called "My Thing," which kind of almost sounds like a White Album outtake from the Beatles. It's really really cool. The Chance of Love, Barry sings, you know, one of his most impassioned vocals. I mean, he's singing with everything he's got. It's fantastic. Skip ahead. Last track on here, Don't Forget to Remember. Again, another gorgeous track. The ballad. It's really, really good. But again, I highly recommend this record. This is, I think, an original. You can usually find them in record stores. I think I paid $10 for this in a shop in North Carolina a couple summers ago. It's on the Atco label, so you have that yellow Atco with kind of the Trivial Pursuit wheel there on the actual sticker. So let me know what y'all think. Again, I just am doing this series more just to introduce people to new music. I know I've been able to do that for a couple people who have bought a couple of the albums that I've already mentioned. But let me know what you think about Cucumber Castle. Again, this one might be a little more known than some of the others that I was showing, but I think it's worthy of the series. So in the meantime, y'all be good, take care, and we'll talk to you in the next one. Bye now.